So I'm down for a 24-hour session in West Sussex with a good friend of mine, Neal, and it's early November and we're just trialling out the winter box. Already, I mean, I've been here less than an hour. I've had 4 fish, all being tench, but this one's definitely a carp. It's putting a little bit harder. But Neal got here early this morning and he's already had, how many have you had, Neal?
8 fish.
8 fish. It's been absolutely manic. So like I was just saying, a fantastic start to this session. Just doing a few pictures for Neal and getting a few fish out on the bank, getting a bit of video done. And my rod's away. I've only got one rod out. Fishing tights for a little island. Again, them thinking angler components on a D-rig. Doing a business, and we'll go through that in a minute on how to put them bits together and maximise your fishing during those winter months with all the bits from the box. Right, let's get him in. There you go, my little second fish of the session. But I catch up with Neal at his little syndicate in West Sussex on a 24-hour session, and already Neal has had a fantastic start. How big that one go, Neal?
This one's 21 pound 2.
21 pound 2, biggest so far, but I don't think it's going to be the biggest of this session, as we currently haven't got any rods in the water, so we needed to get through these fish as we run out of slings and nets. Alright, let's get these 2 back, get a cup of tea, get them rods back out, and hopefully we'll get a few more. In this session we'll show you as well the contents of the box and how we've been putting it together to effectively fish it this session. Alright, should we get a tea on, mate?
Definitely.
Alright, let's get them back.
That's the 21 pound 2 ounce mirror gone back. I'm going to make the cup of tea for George because he's worked so hard this morning. And what we'll do is we'll show you all the rigs and components for the D-rig, this type of all the Thinking Anglers products.
There we go, check that out. It's been the Neal show this morning. Neal's had quite a few fish, so we've been working our way through getting pictures and video for him. And we just sort of sat down to have a break and get some pictures and footage of the rig that he's been using. And my left-hand rod had a big drop back, fishing tight to a little island. So we're going to go through the components of that winter box, how we've been fishing it effectively, and I think next up you'll see Neal showing us how he ties that rig. But it's certainly working well here on the little syndicate in West Sussex. They're not massive fish, but it's cold, it's November, and we're having a great time. All right, let's get him back, and then let's have a look at that rig and how you can use it in your fishing during them colder months to the best of its capabilities.
Hi, I'm Neal, team member for ClubCarp. Over the past few months I've been trialling the winter box components, and today alone I've banked 9 fish to 21 pound. In a minute I'll show you how to tie your very own D-rig with the components you'll be getting in this winter's box. Your rod, right hand rod. It's a tench, but it's a run. Now I'm going to go through how to tie your very own D-rig with the Thinking Anglers components. Firstly, take around 14 inches of think link. Take your size 4 chod hook, pass your think link through the eye front to back, leaving around 2 inches sticking out. Next, what you need to do is a basic whipping knot down the shank of the hook about 10 to 12 times. After your 10th cycle round the hook, go back round and through the back of the eye to form your initial knotless knot. Next, pull down. You need to make sure you bed this hook down properly. Make sure to cut a slight point at an angle on your think link. This will make passing the tag end back through the eye far easier. The next step is to take your micro ring swivel, pass the large ring through the tag end, and then feed that tag end through the eye of the hook. Pull the tag end down to form a tight loop initially. This will all become clear in a minute when you trim it off as shown. Is to take your lighter and blob this tag end down, being careful not to damage the main boom section. This is now going to form your main D, and on the ring swivel itself is where you will attach your bait. Following on from tying your D section, what you can now do is attach your bait of choice, and then what you need to do is slide on your tungsten dropper before forming your perfection loop. So the last process in building your rig is to tie the perfection loop. This is so you can attach it to your lead arrangement of choice. Firstly, form a loop with the tail going behind the loop. Go around the loop once, as shown there, and then with the tag end pass it between the two loops as shown, and then the small loop here grab from behind and pull through the other loop, bedding it down with saliva. I'm just showing you without that because otherwise it will just get in the way and you won't be able to see what you're doing. What this gives you is a dead straight loop. It's not like a figure of 8 which can stand off a little bit.
So Neal's just gone through how to make a D-rig using the components in the winter box. Another few things that you'll find in there is the dispersed PVA tape from Ridge Monkey. The reason why we've put that in there is because we think it's a great way to present your baits during them winter months than having a little stringer. Now, what do I mean by little stringer? A little stringer consists of 3 or 4 baits attached to then the hook link, cast out to whether it be showing fish or a likely spot. And by just having that little stringer of baits is just enough to entice a bite, of which my rod is now going. So I'm going to go grab that and I'll be back in a minute. There we go. So literally just telling you about how a stringer of baits this time of year works. And there she goes. We're now playing, I think this must be my 5th fish of the session. Neal's now into double figures and it's turning into a really good evening. We've got about 12 hours left, so I'll be off tomorrow morning, but no doubt I think we'll have a few during the night. So a great combination then. That little D-rig fishing this time of year. Little stringer of baits, carefully positioned in a likely area, so up tight to an island in this case, in a little bit deeper water, is a fantastic method fishing them colder months. D-rig, a little bit longer hook length, with that little pop-up bit of yellow corn on there, just to correctly balance that hook bait. Again, a perfect combination for them colder months when the fish are not looking for vast amounts of food. Right, it's right under my rod tip. Come on. Come on. Yes, another one in the net. Alright, it's getting dark. We'll get out, have a quick look, and then I'll show you how I put that stringer of baits together. There we go, check that out. Just showing you the little stringer of baits with the Ridge Monkey PVA. My far left hand rod fishing up tight to a margin on a little island, absolutely melted off. What an absolute corker of a fish. All the fish that we've had in here have been in pristine condition. And the little syndicate of only about 40 or 50 members, really tight net little community, have really certainly looked after these fish, and it just goes to show. Right, it's losing the light, so let's get him back, and I want to show you that little stringer of baits and how you can fish it most effectively during them winter months. Alright, let's get her back. Well, very good morning. Check out this little guy. Another little ghosty. Seems to have caught a few of these this session. Proper angry. Again, immaculate condition. This morning, as you can see, it's raining really hard. We've got a couple of hours left, and then we'll be packing up and heading home. Before we do though, I just want to show you that little stringer of baits. Meant to show you last night, but unfortunately we lost the light very quickly after catching that fish. So let's get this one back. Let's get another rig out on the spot, and I'll go through the little stringer of baits and how you can present it most accurately and effectively over them winter months. Right, let's get her back. We've just finished packing away and it is absolutely hacking down with rain. We've got all the gear away and we've come and taken some shelter in this little lodge on the lake. I think it's only time before we go with a cup of tea and show you how to use that Ridge Monkey tape to its full potential. So how to make a little stringer of baits, probably one of the most simplest things that you can do, yet the most effective. Just take about a foot worth of PVA tape and thread on no more than 3 baits really, 3 to 4 baits is a fantastic amount. It's a good amount for casting, and also it presents just a few little freebies around your hook bait. During them winter months the fish are not picking up as much bait, so by presenting just 3 or 4 little crucial baits in and around your hook bait is ideal. Once you've threaded on them 3 baits, tie an overhand knot with the PVA tape end to end, and then what you've ended up with is like a donut, a ring of little baits. Get rid of them 2 tag ends, and then once you've done that, just take your hook link, passing it through the middle of the ring that you've just made, all the way down to your hook, and slide it over your hook, and that'll also keep your hook bait away from your hook point. And there you've got a fantastic little setup for fishing them colder months. A D-rig with a little stringer of baits. We've come to the end now, fantastic 24-hour session. Me and Neal managing over 20 fish between us, all thanks to the components in our winter box. If you want to get your hands on one of these subscription boxes, the next one comes out in February and you can subscribe at ClubCarp.com. Guys, we want to see your catch reports and we want to see your success over them winter months. So please make sure you get hashtagging Bite Life and we'll be seeing you in the new year.